That's good, right?
Yeah, I think it's perfect. Like I said, I think that's probably the best we've had it. All right, welcome to No New Ideas, Episode 5, The Curse of Chucky. Before we get going on Curse of Chucky, a little non-horror sequel talk, since we are a sequel podcast. I saw the new Kingsman movie the other day. Have you seen are you familiar with the Kingsman franchise?
I have not seen any Kingsman anything.
The first Kingsman movie is fantastic. Very, very good. The second Kingsman movie, also quite good. It's a lot of fun. They're like if James Bond was fun. Because I feel like the James Bond movies have stopped being fun.
Like 20 years ago?
Yeah, since they started doing the gritty reboots, or not reboots, but gritty like...
the freaking camera angles on that things are ridiculously annoying at times.
Yeah, they just... The movies are... They're not bad. Casino Royale was good. Quantum of Solace was Skyfall was good.
I didn't watch it. I dipped out after freaking...
That is a franchise that people really like. I'm kind of over it. I used to watch them a lot as a teenager. I watched a lot of the, Sean Connery, the Roger Moores. They're all good to a degree. They're very, specifically of their time. and they're fun. And then when you got into the Pierce Brosnan era much later, GoldenEye was fun, but then they got really silly.
Just like the video game GoldenEye.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's a classic.
Yeah.
Kingsman is it's like secret agents. It's very British.
Is that the movie where they're fucking massacring people with briefcase guns?
Yeah. That would be the one.
Okay,
yeah.
So I've seen the trailer for it.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. The first one in particular, I will say this: the first Kingsman has one of the best action sequences I've ever seen in a movie. There's a one man versus it's in a church, and it's one man versus a church full of crazed churchgoers. They've all, due to some plot contrivance, whatever, they've all gone crazy and come after him. It literally is one of the best fight scenes I've ever seen in a movie. Especially because the guy doing the fighting is Colin Firth, who's not usually a real, action guy. It's just a great scene. The second movie, the second Kingsman, which is the Golden Circle, doesn't have one moment like that really
this quintessential part.
Yeah, but it's just a fun movie. It's a fun franchise. I think it's great. I'm glad that's making money. It's from the dude that did Kick-Ass. If you ever saw that, yeah, it's the same guy, Matthew Vaughn.
That's really cool. Kick-Ass.
Kick-Ass was good. The second Kick-Ass was kind of
I never watched the second.
It's okay. It was one of those where Jim Carrey has a cameo in it, literally a 5-minute cameo, and he was in every ad for it.
I remember he retracted later. The only thing I know about Kick-Ass 2 is where Jim Carrey retracted later about regretting because of the violence.
Yeah, that's exactly stuff. Yeah. Jim Carrey is one that has really gone off the deep end of celebrity. I think.
Yeah. Well, didn't you see that's fairly recently when I read it where he talks about the old Jim Carrey's dead. And this is him now, or something like that.
No, I didn't see that, but that doesn't surprise me at all. I think he's an artist now. He's painting and doing these elaborate. I don't know.
That's when Bob Saget came back and tried to be edgy.
Yeah.
Or Bill Nye. Yeah. Bill Nye telling you you're a dumbass putting a bow tie.
So. He really Jim Carrey really flipped, and now the last movie he was in that I saw was the one with the dude from Game of Thrones. The name is escaping me now. Oh, The Bad Batch.
I didn't see that. The last thing I saw...
It was good.
The last thing I saw from him was... I think it's I Love You, Philip Morris.
The one with Ewan McGregor.
Yeah, well...
where they're prisoners.
Yeah, see, that completely caught me off guard, because I think when Redbox was still kind of prevalent, you know what I mean? I was leaving. It's like, oh, Jim Carrey movie. Let me get that. Kind of just see what it is. I was like, whoa. It's like 5 minutes into it. I was like, this is a different movie than you think of Jim Carrey.
Yeah. Bad Batch is he's like in it for like 5 minutes total. It's a post-apocalyptic cannibal movie.
Huh.
It's directed by I think her name is Lily Amanpour, but I may be wrong about that. Don't quote me on that, podcast world. She directed that A Girl Walks Home Alone at Night, which was an Iranian vampire movie.
I honestly, I think I remember like glimpses of that.
It was good. It's really slow, so it's one of those you kind of got to be in the mood for to watch. But
most vampire movies.
Well, yeah, but Bad Batch is like, they're in this like apocalyptic wasteland, and there's cannibals, and there's like a little community. And they shot it out in like Marfa, I think, in Marfa, Texas, which is kind of cool. But anyway, Jim Carrey plays like this like drifter, almost like Raggedy Man, like Stephen King style Raggedy Man guy, has no dialogue. And he just looks crazy. You almost can't even tell it's him because he's covered in so much like fake dirt and beard and like gross teeth. And he does like there's like one pose that he does in the movie that's like very Ace Ventura. But other than that, like you can almost not tell it's him.
That's weird.
Yeah, it's really strange. It's a good movie. It is actually a really interesting movie. It's on Netflix. I think it just got put on Netflix. So it's worth a watch. It's The Bad Batch. But anyway, speaking of cannibals, if I can segue smoothly into the next topic, have you been following this Russian cannibal family?
I have not, but I read an article on it.
This
just recently.
Story is insane if it's true, and it's one of those that it's hard to tell. There seems to be a lot of fact coming out, but there's also a lot of this is coming from them.
Yeah,
and you can never know. You never can tell if people are saying stuff like this to make themselves seem crazy or to make themselves seem more impressive.
Like the whole Hillside Strangler dude.
Yeah, or like Henry Lee.
A shitload more, this and that, and you can't find the bodies.
Exactly. Well, it's like Henry Lee Lucas, the serial killer Henry Lee Lucas, claimed to kill like 500 people.
Sure.
But, you never know if that's true. But anyway, this family, it's a place somewhere in Russia. I wrote it down and then immediately forgot it because it's
Russian.
It's a Russian confusing name. But it's this husband and wife. The woman is like 20 years older or something than the man, and they are claiming that they've killed and eaten like 30 people.
I'm gonna kind of say that I think that's really believable. One, because it's Russia.
No rules over there.
Two, everything Russians do is like 30 times more brutal than anything.
Oh my god!
Like,
yeah.
I remember reading on some stories on like the. What is it? It's the Let's Not Meet subreddit, right? Which I'm pretty obsessed with.
It's a good one.
There's this story. I mean, whether this is true or not, but it's talking about like how one school was condemned for whatever reasons, or like they were doing construction on it because they were doing construction on it because in a classroom just a giant hole ceiling caved in, and these kids got relocated to another school, which was like on a different part of the town, kind of thing. So, the one bully dude there was like, he was pretty much saying like, he's tired of them, this and that.
Yeah.
So he like singled out a couple of them, like the Redditor that was posting it, and pretty much said that after school he's gonna get him.
Yeah, showdown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they managed to sneak out of class and all that kind of stuff. They run, and as they get onto the bus and they're leaving, they see like that dude and this whole swarm of kids just like beating down one of the kids in there to nearly to death.
Jesus.
And I mean, school rivalries here.
It's not quite the same.
Yeah, I mean, like the severity levels. There's a big gap between those two.
Oh yeah. Well, Russia's also the country that gave us that infamous internet video, Two Guys, One Hammer, where it's
Oh,
just the two guys just beating a guy to death with a hammer for like 20 minutes, which is one of the worst things I've ever watched.
Oh, like that brick video.
Oh, God, I can't even talk about the brick video. But anyway, this family, they've claimed to eat 30 people. They got them all off of like dating sites. I guess Russia has a Tinder, whatever, something like that. A Tinder, a Grinder, something. And there's pictures. Well, for one thing, they found like jars full of like pickled human remains in there. I mean, this is literally a horror movie.
Yeah,
This is the plot of take your pick: Texas Chainsaw Massacres, Frontiers from France. I mean, it's there's pictures of them like serving human heads for dinner, like on platters and
like
stuff.
Like the 1970s TV family
exactly.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah, there's like the picture with the human head. There's like garnishes in the mouths and stuff. It's so messed up.
Completely random. I remember they were interviewing one of the cannibals from like the tribes in like wherever the hell South America, right?
Sure.
Or Green Hell, or wherever the hell the cannibal tribes are. And the guy was comparing nipples to pepperonis.
Why do you know what pepperonis taste like?
I don't know. But I remember this.
That seems like fake news to me, man.
I remember like, in this stupid interview I remember watching when I was younger, he's saying that the girl's nipples taste like pepperoni. Cooked girls' nipples taste like pepperonis. I was like,
I'm gonna claim fake news because they don't have Papa John's where the cannibal tribes
but
live.
they have Domino's.
They do have Domino's. Well, Domino's is everywhere. It's everywhere.
Yeah.
Anyway, if this news story, I feel like, in my opinion, did not get enough play.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Because, I mean, there's obviously a lot going on in the world, but I feel like if there's a cannibal family operating anywhere in the known world, that needs to be like headline news.
Especially if the said family ate a bus worth of victims.
Yeah, like a full like 30 people. That's a lot of people.
It's a small business.
It's a small business. It's a football team and a JV squad. It's crazy, and the world needs to be aware that they're living in a horror movie. I've mentioned this a couple of times on our Facebook account. Follow us on Facebook. Like us on Facebook, please. No New Ideas Podcast. The world is a horror movie. You know, we are living always in a horror movie. We are most of the time just background extras, or
we don't matter.
We don't matter, but every once in a while, somebody is going to be the lead in a horror movie of their own, of their very own, and it's horrible. The world is a terrible place.
I mean, and if you don't believe it, go to the subreddit Let's Not Meet, and it'll change your mind pretty damn quickly. I know, like, being obsessed with that thing.
Yeah.
I'm hella more paranoid and like more suspicious of everybody.
Oh, absolutely. If you don't believe that the world is a horror movie, ask any of the 30 people that were eaten by a cannibal family in Russia. Those people are living in a horror movie world. They're not living anymore because they were cooked and eaten.
If you did ask them successfully and talk to them, you're probably already in a horror movie because you're talking to ghosts.
Talking to ghosts, man.
There you go, proof.
Look, I think we figured it out. I think we solved it.
Yep.
The world's a horror movie.
There you go.
Hey, speaking of horror movies, let's talk about smooth segues are going to be the hallmark of the No New Ideas podcast. Let's talk about Curse of Chucky.
Church of Chucky?
Church of Chucky. I'm sure that's coming down the line at some point.
Hey, there's a Church of John Stamos.
What? Really?
I don't know. I think I saw it somewhere.
Church of John. I wouldn't surprise
He deserves a church. No, he doesn't.
That hair deserves a church. That's some good hair.
Okay, real quick, random. I watched Full House growing up.
Sure.
But what I hated was the bad boy, the guy's supposed to be edgy. Freaking John Stamos' character, Uncle Jesse.
Uncle Jesse.
He's supposed to be the badass. His favorite group is the Beach Boys.
Beach Boys, yeah.
Come on, man.
Never made it. Well, actually, his favorite group is Elvis. But
Elvis.
Or not group, but his favorite singer is Elvis, but they couldn't obviously get Elvis on the show.
But a highlight of his life, this character's life, is the Beach Boys.
Well, I think it's just that the Beach Boys were available. I agree with you. That doesn't make sense. The fact that he is supposed to be the uncle of the girls who are all blonde. So, like, he's Greek. He's a very Greek human being. He's supposed to be his sister is Bob Saget's dead wife. So presumably she would be Greek as well. But all of the girls that are Bob Saget's kid are all like blondes. Something does not add up there. There's some genetics, some weird genetics thing. Also, John Stamos, by the way, still plays with the Beach Boys from time to time.
Really?
Yeah. I follow him on Instagram. Follow us on Instagram. Yeah. No New Ideas Podcast.
And I podcast. But wait. Why are you following John Stamos on Instagram?
Why not? You don't want to know what's up with John Stamos on a regular basis?
I'm pretty, like, the last thing I ever heard of John Stamos before Fuller House was when he was stuck in a tree on the Andy Milonakis show.
Oh, God. I haven't thought about that show in years.
That's the last time I heard about it.
Yeah, I follow John Stamos. I follow all the cast members of Full House, I believe. I think I follow your Dave Couliers, your Bob Saget's, your Candace Cameron Bure's, your the girl that played Stephanie Tanner, whose name I can't remember. I like Full House.
Full House is great.
Full House is a good show to put on
when you want to go to sleep.
When you want to go to sleep, or you're doing other things, it's just running in the background. It's the quintessential American sitcom. It's great. I love Full House. Full House is very big in my Full House, which is just me and my wife and our cat.
Does your cat like Full House?
Who doesn't? Whose cat doesn't like Full House?
That is true. That is true.
So anyway, we were talking about Curse of Chucky.
Back to Curse of Chucky.
This is the 7th movie.
Is it the 7th movie?
Well, there was
1, 2, and 3.
1, 2, 3.
Bride.
Seed. So it's 6th.
So yeah, Bride, Seed, and then this one. 6, right?
6th. Yeah. So the 6th and the 7th is about to come out. Cult of Chucky, which we will not be covering today because we haven't seen it. Although it did leak online. Did you see that? Yeah. Oh yeah. Don Mancini had a Twitter rant. He ranted on the Twitter about Cult of Chucky being released online. Which is weird. It's a movie that's going straight to Netflix.
So you're going to stream it. So he's mad because they streamed it
early.
Yeah.
But I also don't understand, like, people that are... Is that a movie that people are, like...
Dying to see?
Like, what hacker is out there trying to find Cult of Chucky?
It's it's easy. That's an easy answer.
What's that?
It is the pastor to the Church of Chucky we talked about 5 minutes earlier.
Man, we are just cracking cases today, man.
Yeah. This is your new news source.
So, Curse of Chucky is the 6th movie. It follows...
Nika?
It follows... it's about Nika. This is the plot to Curse of Chucky. Okay, well, let me back up here. Going into this, I was under the impression that Curse of Chucky was a reboot.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be a reboot. What I was told before, way before, was that it was going to be like a reboot, but it was kind of bringing more of like a horror theme, like almost a supernatural kind of thing to it. So I went into it thinking that.
Which I was fine with because Seed of Chucky is not a good movie.
Terrible.
It's
horrible.
It's Seed of Chucky, for those of you that haven't seen it, is the logical conclusion of Bride of Chucky, where Chucky, the killer doll, serial killer, demon-possessed doll.
Or like the demon put his soul inside the doll.
Yeah.
But since he didn't go into Andy, he got stuck into the doll, but became human. So the doll became mortal essentially, so his soul was in prison.
Yeah, so he's like half doll, half human.
Yeah.
Anyway, he takes a bride who is also a doll.
Puts her into a doll.
Puts her soul into a doll, and then they have a kid.
That's a doll.
Seed of Chucky is literally 3 animatronic puppets fighting for an hour and a half, or at least the last 45 minutes of that movie.
Yeah, and then what's his name? Shithead or Shitface or
Shithead?
Shithead, right?
Yeah. Something like this. Yeah. I think it's Shithead. And the doll has like gender identity issues because remember it's like Glenn or Glenda. They literally call it Glenn or Glenda as a reference to the Ed Wood movies.
Yeah,
movie.
Yeah, which is.
I mean, it's cute. But it just the movie is just it's bad. It's a franchise that is completely gone off the rails.
Yeah.
It's not scary.
And they killed Britney Spears, I think.
They do kill Britney Spears.
Right, they kill Britney
You're
Spears.
right.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Run her off the road or
yeah. I
some
mean,
shit.
it's not really Britney Spears, and Britney Spears is still alive and well. This is all in the Chuckyverse. They've killed
The Chuckyverse.
the Chuckyverse that they've killed Britney Spears. But yeah, it's not a good movie. And Jennifer Tilly, who we'll talk about later, she plays the voice of Chucky's bride, but then in Seed of Chucky also plays herself.
Well, wasn't she? But she was in Bride of Chucky in the beginning.
Yeah, but not as her. She plays Tiffany, who they turn into the doll.
Yeah.
But then in Seed of Chucky, she's in it as Jennifer Tilly because they're making some kind of movie.
Oh,
with Redman, the rapper Redman, who gets like disemboweled at one point.
I totally forgot about that.
Yeah, it's a confusing mess of a movie, but it ends with Chucky's progeny, the son, dismembering Chucky with an axe, and Chucky says, "I'm so proud of you. You've joined the family."
Yeah,
and that was the end. And it seemed like a pretty definitive end.
Yeah, I was
which at that point it's like, fine, put a bullet in the head of this franchise. It's just not good anymore. It's gotten so silly, fine. So when they said they were going to reboot it, it's like, great, because the first Child's Play is scary.
Yeah,
the first Child's Play is very scary.
I was horrified of Child's Play. Like, I'm talking about like The Exorcist, and all that stuff. Like, but that was after I kind of got older and realized, shit's scary. But Child's Play was the most horrifying and traumatizing movie for me as a kid, mainly because of my family.
Right.
Which is, I think, a couple episodes of me saying my family fucked me up with horror movies.
Running theme.
Yeah, but that movie was freaking horrifying to me. I mean, and this is kind of dumb kid logic, but because I'm yay big, tall, tiny.
A tiny child.
Yeah, and me thinking, like, for whatever reason, Michael Myers and Freddy, like, they were scary or whatever, but the fact that Chucky was my size and we were, like, on level playing fields,
sure,
and we fought, it'd be,
mano a mano.
Yeah. That was absolutely horrifying to me.
I get that.
Which is weird.
Well, I don't think that's weird at all. I will also say, a point I wanted to make kind of tangential to all of this, everyone is right now crazy about killer clowns.
Yeah, I've never found clowns scary.
I think clowns can be creepy.
But they're never scary. Like,
nah, they're more creepy than scary, I would say. But I would say killer dolls trump killer clowns.
I think so.
Yeah.
I'm just also too, like, real life, even though I remember my aunt had a porcelain doll on her shelf.
Sure.
I hated that fucker.
Oh, they're creepy.
Like, and plus too, like, it's like the whole Mona Lisa effect thing where, like, the eyes kind of just always follow you because your perspective. I hated that thing. I'm talking about literally, we heard a noise coming from my aunt's room and we knew it was the doll. So, like,
moving around.
Yeah, so we went in with the broomstick and hit it. And then, like, got in trouble, obviously. But
hey, man, don't have a killer, creepy doll in your house.
Yeah.
You don't want it whacked with a broomstick.
Fuck those dolls.
Dolls are creepy, and I mean this. There's even a franchise now with the Annabelle series.
Oh yeah.
About a creepy doll. That that I feel like is more pervasive than killer clowns. I feel like killer clowns is a fad that is just popular right now. Killer dolls, creepy killer dolls are eternal.
Exactly.
Because
and also if you are against killer clowns, you just need to watch Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
That's a great movie.
And you'll love clowns after that.
Yeah, those are fun, creepy clowns.
Yeah, because they kill people with shadow puppets.
Cotton candy.
And they play in, what is it, the little playgrounds for fast food restaurants? The McDonald's?
The play place.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, clowns are a fad. Killer dolls. Eternal. I mean, even the Twilight Zone had a creepy doll.
The Goosebumps had the puppet.
Goosebumps had the puppet. Twilight Zone. There's been like Dolly Dearest dolls. There's been countless movies, and then now Annabelle. So anyway,
Fuck you, killer clowns.
Fuck you, killer clowns. Killer dolls forever. So, that's where we left Chucky, dismembered. We're rebooting the franchise. So we think. Curse of Chucky starts with Nika. I don't know where that name comes from, but Nika is the girl's name. She is wheelchair bound. She's
Sounds Russian. Sounds Russian.
Does sound Russian. Possible cannibal.
Yeah.
Not really addressed in the movie, but we're on to you. Nika is a wheelchair-bound college student, college dropout. It's brought up, but not super addressed. She's living with her mother, very unhappily. They don't seem like a good...
helicopter mom that's crazy as shit.
Very much so. The mom's just painting all day, which becomes relevant later. But Nika... a package arrives at their house. It is a big package. Where did this come from? Oh, it's a mystery package. I don't know. Let's open it.
There's no return address.
No return address. Who could it be for? They open it. It is, of course, the Little Buddy.
Good guy doll.
Little Buddy was the real thing. That was the real doll they had.
That's the Mexican knockout version.
The good guy doll, which is Chucky. And that's kind of the whole plot. Chucky, they don't know where this mysterious doll came from. We as the audience know that it's Chucky, but they don't know that. The mother mysteriously, in scare quotes, mysteriously dies about 5 minutes later into the movie. And that kind of sets off the whole plot. The rest of the family, of Nika's family, comes to support her and comes... Victims, essentially. Come to support her and show up for the funeral and all that. And there's, of course, a little child, a little 10-year-old child whose name I didn't write down.
It's something.
It's like April or something like that.
It's an unforgettable name.
Yeah, and she is given the doll. They say, oh, well, this creepy doll showed up. This would be a great gift for our niece that has arrived or whatever. And that's kind of the whole plot of the movie. It's just about them being in this house.
And being picked off one
by one by Chucky. What's cool about this movie is that they dial back the very silly... the seed of Chucky, Bride of Chucky, all that got extremely silly. It got really, goofy.
Like the not funny parts.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's primarily gone, which is good.
The first 45 minutes of Curse of Chucky is a solid horror movie.
Yeah, for sure.
Because as we are the audience and we're watching this, we are aware that is Chucky and that Chucky's going to come alive and start killing people. That's fine. They go by Jaws rules where you never really see Chucky move or talk or anything for the first 45 minutes of the movie. There's little hints. You'll see like his hand, or you'll see him like run by real quick, or the doll,
which is very much like the original.
Which is very much like the original. They really go back to the style of the original for this one, which is great. You'll see just little flashes of the character of Chucky moving around or stuff, but nothing concrete. Just like the shark in Jaws, which I think is a great way to do a horror movie. It's classic for a reason. You don't see him. Sorry, I lost my place in my head. You don't see him do anything. You don't see him, be scary. He doesn't speak until 45 minutes into the movie.
Yeah,
well, he does his little doll voice, but he doesn't.
Yeah.
Chucky talk.
The Charles Lee Ray freaking thug talk. I don't know. But I was really pleasantly surprised with this movie.
Yeah.
Even like the first 45 minutes were paced really, really well.
Oh yeah.
Like going on to just like the little things. I think before I get into any more, I think Nika was the Fiona.
Yeah.
I think she did really, really, really good as a lead. I think she was a really solid lead.
She was great. Nika is the wheelchair-bound college student who's the lead in the movie. She is played by Fiona Dourif, who is the daughter of Brad Dourif, who is the voice of Chucky, which is really cool. I think that's a nice all in the family kind of thing. She's on a TV show, the Dirk Gently Detective Agency, which I think is a BBC show. She's on that as well. But this was the only thing I've ever really seen her in.
Yeah, I thought she did really.
She was great.
I think she was a really good lead.
Really good lead, really solid. And I believe she's the lead in Cult of Chucky, which is the next one too, because I believe that's a continuation.
Which I didn't think I was going to be kind of like excited to watch the next one, but after seeing this one, I'm actually stoked on the new Chucky movie, which is, I never thought I would say in my life again, but I'm actually pretty stoked to see the new Chucky movie.
Yeah, me too. This one was a lot of fun. It's very well done. This is Curse of Chucky is written and directed by Don Mancini. Don Mancini is the writer of all of the Chucky movies, which I think is interesting that they have kept that thread going through an entire franchise. That's pretty rare.
Very, very, very rare
to see in the horror world. And he's directed the last couple. He directed Curse of Chucky. He directed Seed of Chucky, which is not, a feather in anyone's cap.
I'm assuming he went through like a weird coke phase, and that's where Seed of Chucky was born. I'm pretty sure
it had to have been. Don Mancini is kind of an interesting character, an interesting figure in the world of horror, because the Chucky movies are kind of all he's done. If you look at his IMDb page, his resume, he's done like he actually I think wrote a couple episodes of Hannibal, which I know you're a big fan of.
Hannibal's cool. You gotta watch it.
Yeah, he's been a part of that. He wrote a Tales from the Crypt from back in the day, and that's kind of it. The only other thing I've seen him on is there's a show on Food Network called Halloween Wars, which is a Food Network show where artisans in the craft in the areas of the
Halloween.
the Halloween artisans in the medium of like pumpkin and cake. They do these big elaborate sculptures, like horror themed sculptures out of like carved pumpkins and cakes and sugar glass and stuff. It's if you like that sort of thing, which I do.
I thought you were gonna say sugar gliders.
I don't know. Dead marsupials that they tack to the pumpkins. It's fun, but anyway, he's been like a judge on that, which I think is very random. I guess if you're only doing one franchise, you got a lot of time on your hands.
That is true.
To show up on Food Network shows, but hey, if I were in the horror world and they asked me to be on that show, I would 100% do that because it sounds like fun. Anyway,
can't beat free cake.
Hey, yeah, you get some free cake. You get to take home a free pumpkin. That's
Halloween decorations taken care of.
Taken care of, done. And I assume you get paid. So yeah, Don Mancini, kind of an interesting figure in the horror world because he's just done this franchise. Anyway, he takes over directing duties with Seed of Chucky. He's now doing this one, and I believe the next one, although he's just listed as rumored for Cult of Chucky. Even though the movie comes out in like a couple of days, I would think that they would have that locked down at this point.
Which is funny. I mean, maybe it's like a publicity thing because everybody knows that we're waiting for the next Don Mancini movie. Just saying.
I mean,
kind of a draw.
Yeah, it's a draw. I guess in the Chuckyverse, it's a
Church
draw.
of Chucky.
Church of Chucky.
There you
Don
go.
Mancini's like their.
He's their Jesus.
He's their Jesus.
Yeah.
Don Mancini is Jesus of the Chucky Church. Yeah, I like that. That works. That tracks. Yeah. He did a good job with this because he really dialed it back. He made it scary.
He made it an actual horror movie.
Yeah, made it an actual horror movie, which is great. I would say the first hour, it's about an hour and a half, Curse of Chucky. The first hour is very solid.
Yeah, no, it was really, really good.
There's a very intense, very lurid scene of
chili scene,
chili eating.
Yeah, and as it goes around the table, like seeing which one is it going to be.
Yeah, well, what happens is that we know, as the audience, we see Nika, now that the family has arrived, Nika insists on making dinner, and what she makes is chili.
Vegetarian chili, which is, side note, is blasphemy.
Hey, now vegetarian.
No. I'm cool for vegetarian dishes. Like, a lot of Indian foods are vegetarian. It's like one of the best things ever. But chili, just watch Texas Chainsaw Massacre too. Chili needs meat.
I would normally agree with you on this. However, my wife makes an excellent vegetarian chili.
And I'm sure it's great, but what that is tomato bisque soup.
Just a chunky soup?
That's what it is.
Okay, well, we'll agree to disagree on this one.
On the line of the sand on that one.
And this podcast is over.
Done.
No, she makes this chili, and we see Chucky poison one bowl of the chili. Just one. And it leads to this very luridly shot, tense chili eating sequence.
Which is slightly uncomfortable because there's a lot of close-ups to mouth.
Oh man, there's so much like chewing noises
and it's like
mouth shots. It's
like horror movie ASMR. Yeah. That's what it is. That's what it is.
That's exactly what it is. It's if you are into the ASMR trend, the what is that where you listen to people talk really softly or
because it's supposed to give you like back tingles or some shit.
It does. Some people.
Okay, I'm not gonna. This is weird as hell. Cause I'm there on like just clicking the related videos on YouTube, and I end up on this ASMR thing. And I don't know what the hell this is at all. Right? I'm reading comments talking about like, oh, this is awesome, this is amazing, blah blah blah. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, what is this person doing? And then like you're talking about like random shit, right? But anyways, I get you this thing, and it's a video of this person, which is I'm assuming a girl, or like peeling an orange or something, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not going to lie. Like the fiber sounds of the orange you're telling from the peel, that tingly thing they talk about, it happened.
That's a thing.
And I was like, what is this and why the fuck do I like it?
Yeah.
Because I like this way more than I should.
Yeah.
And I was there watching it for like a good, probably solid hour.
That's a long time.
It was.
Somebody peel an orange.
Yeah, I wasn't like, I was just listening, but it was weird.
They do that. They will talk. They will whisper.
No, that's creepy though. That one's creepy.
The whispering I really don't care for.
It bothers me as hell. Like there was this one girl. I'm watching this one girl. She was like, "This is ASMR, whatever." She's whispering, right? And her sound was freaking eating chicken wings.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I was like, "What? What? That sounds horrid."
As someone that has worked in a restaurant that served a lot of chicken wings, and once you like watch, you spend like whole shifts of watching people eat chicken wings, and just like suck on bones and have like chicken wings are disgusting.
Yeah,
I mean I like chicken wings, don't get me wrong, but I don't want to watch someone eat chicken.
Especially because I was with headphones. Hearing the smacking sounds of people eating just chicken wings,
greasy lips and teeth.
That is gross.
Disgusting. No, it's
that is terrible.
But there's a whole like industry of that of videos. I don't understand it.
No, but there's also like I mean, there's a video. There's a huge Instagram. This girl smashing her face in bread. That's a thing.
Bread facing.
Like she's literally there and she's like this. To bread. She does sliced bread. She does bread rolls. I think she did freaking the Hawaiian sweet rolls, which are really good, by the way.
Oh, Hawaiian sweet rolls are delicious.
She does that. She does like
just smashing her face in bread. How much money is this person making?
I'm pretty sure way more than both of us.
That is ridiculous. I'll smash my face in bread for money. I don't care.
I'll do a lot of things. Hey, $20, $20.
I'll do any kind of baked good you got. I'll smash my face in it for money. I'm just putting that out there. That's a side business I'm going to get.
Just email.
You want to see a fat guy put his face in a loaf of pumpernickel? I'm your guy. I'll do it.
Pumpernickel.
Oh yeah. I'll do all the rye breads.
The pumpernickel's the hamster from Everybody Loves Raymond.
Oh.
So the visual of you putting your face on a hamster.
You know what? $50. I'll do the hamster. I got no I got no qualms with that. But there's a whole industry though of watching people eat.
That is true. Oh yeah,
that's like a big thing. There's in Asia, I know.
I'm saying like there was same thing, clicking around the videos. I think I watched this. I think she was a Korean girl eat like 5 things of ramen in a giant bowl. Like, just freaking. And I'm watching. It's like, dude, I can eat like maybe 3.
Yeah.
And I'm
but
hard.
I think we're probably talking about the same person, because I think she's like a celebrity because of that.
Yeah.
Because she does that kind of thing, and I guess if that's your job, you just kind of like train yourself to eat.
That's freaking.
She makes like 6 figures doing that.
I mean, well, like, and she just freaking. I'm just impressed how efficient she is at eating ramen. Like I like watching like Kachi grab. I mean, I thought I'm pretty decent at chopsticks because like the whole weed thing, but like. I was more impressed at like
just her skills, her ramen eating skills.
That was pretty.
Well, hey,
it was
man,
inspiring.
It's inspiring, especially if you can make that kind of money off of it.
Sure.
I think that's fascinating. Anyway, we've got pretty far afield from Chris Chucky at this point, but there's this whole scene where and this is really the first act that Chucky does, the first like malicious act. Yeah. That he poisons this chili, and it's all very
intense. Like
intense.
It's really
lurid.
It's really intense.
It's really cool. And eventually, there's a priest that is part of the family. He's come to
do priestly things.
Do priestly things for the funeral. He's the eventual victim.
You know what I thought? I thought he was going to be Andy.
The priest?
Yeah, I thought he was going to be Andy.
See, okay.
And then I thought he was going to be like, he knew it was Chucky. You know what I mean? Like
because the
he looked like he knew what was up.
The priest looked like there was, he looked like he knew what was up. I didn't think he was going to be Andy. I thought the cop.
Oh, that came
and found.
That part crossed my mind when like he turned around and the priest was like, I kind of thought that might have been a thing
there's
too.
a cop becomes kind of a minor character in the movie. The priest who's been poisoned, he runs off. He realizes something's wrong, I guess, and leaves. It's very strange.
It's kind of like a dying animal, like run off and die in the corner.
And then gets in a horrible car accident, and there's a part where his head falls off,
which is really cool.
It's a great gore scene. There's gushing blood and all that. The cop shows up, and he kind of becomes a focus, and then later on he goes back to investigate the goings-on at this house, and I really thought
he was going to show up and they were going to fight Chucky.
Yeah, I really felt like that's where they were going, was that he was going to be the kid from the original Child's Play movie. I was just like, I figured this out. Yeah. That's where they're going with this, but
that's how it was with
not at all what happened.
That's how it was with the priest. And then like after the priest, the next match was the cop's Andy.
Yeah. And which is interesting that we both thought that, because they do in fact bring Andy from the original Child's Play back in a post-credit sequence that neither of us even were aware existed. We both had to go back and not rewatch the whole movie, but like watch that on like YouTube, because it's a post-credit sequence. You're not going to sit through the whole credits,
especially on a movie on Netflix. I'm just saying,
it's just not good. See, this is my problem with the whole post-credit sequence thing. There should be. I just don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like the whole phenomenon. Marvel is the one that started this.
My thing, like, do you like if you can do a post-credit scene, do you like the name of the damn movie, the main character, the main actors, and the directors, right? Do the goddamn scene like 30 seconds in. Yeah. And then finish it.
Yeah, the new, not to keep talking about Annabelle, but Annabelle does that. Yeah. The new one. There's there's still stuff happening on the screen. Yeah. That's kind of a clue as the like first little bit of the credits are going. Yeah. Like, it's like the camera's moving through a house or whatever. So you're like, oh, something's still going on. To put it at the post credits, especially this one that's fairly important to the series, because what happens is credits roll. The movie keeps going. It says 6 months later, and Chucky is delivered in a box, just as he was in the first of the movie.
Yeah, because at the end of the movie, you see, what was her name?
Jennifer Tilly.
There you go, Tilly. You see her. You see her shipping another package. I wonder what it's gonna be. Yeah. And her doing like some like little half-remarked kind of inside funny Chucky jokes, you know, about being alive and whatever. And then, so she ships it, movie ends.
Yeah, that's the end of the movie. You know that he's still out there.
He's going to get somebody.
A fine end to the movie. He shows up in the post-credit sequence at the house of Andy from the original Chucky movie. And it's the same actor, Alex Vincent, which is kind of cool that they were able to get him back. It doesn't look like he's really stuck with acting. I think he's been in a couple things, but, you know, it's cool that he was willing to come back for this. And I don't know if he's going to be a character in the next one.
My thing is, like,
but
I kind of feel like he has to be.
I would think so, but... You know, who the hell knows? But they tip you off to that's who it is because they show like him as a child with the mom, like in a photograph, like on the mantle from the first movie. So you know it's him. And then Chucky pops out of the box, and I guess the conceit of this scene is that Andy has been waiting for Chucky this whole time and has a shotgun.
Yep.
And Chucky says, "Andy!" and blasts him, and that's the end.
Andy finally grew some balls.
Yeah, grew some balls, killed Chucky.
Which took him 20 years.
Yeah, well, Andy is a character in the second and third one, right?
Yeah, so like,
but it's played by different actors. But is it the same?
I think it's the same actor in the second one because so pretty much everybody knows the thing of the first movie.
Yeah.
Second movie, he gets put into foster care because of everything.
Right.
I don't know what happened to the mom.
No, but the mom is clearly still alive because he talks to her at the end.
Or maybe she got taken away because of whatever. The mom's still a thing, but he gets put into foster care, and Chucky finds foster sister kind of tries to save him, all stuff. It's actually a solid sequel.
I haven't seen that movie literally 20 years.
Yeah, I just remember him like quintessential scenes where he kills the teacher. Right. Yes. The thing of stabbing her in the leg or in the ankle.
The ankle. Yeah. I do remember that.
It's like, and then the scene probably like one of my favorite scenes in all of like the Chuckyverse is where they're in the manufacturing like the conveyor belt line for the good guy dolls.
Yes. That's the scene that's there.
He tries to reach in for her and she slams the gate on him, whatever, and he like rips out his hand since he's more human now. Like he's ripping out his hand, and you see the good guy doll stuff break and blood coming out. Right. And then he goes Ash from Evil Dead.
Right, sticks the
knife into his thing, which looks terrible because he feels it. You know what I mean? And that was a cool scene. Yeah, and then part 3 follows Andy to military school. Yeah.
Which again, I haven't seen that movie in 20 years.
Which is another one I actually really like too. Honestly, the first trilogy of Child's Play I thoroughly enjoyed. First one not so much because of scary things for me as a kid.
Because of traumatic childhood incidents.
Yeah, I remember much like The Exorcist, my family always rewatched Child's Play a lot. Like my uncle loved it, my cousin loved it, but I remember I'd be forced to watch it too, but I would not watch it. I remember sitting a lot of times. Right, I'd be sitting on the couch and not watching the TV, just kind of hearing it as it goes on because I just didn't want to see so scared.
Sure.
Or also, my uncle had this weird ass thing where he'd get a chair in the middle of the damn living room, sit right in front of the TV, and he'd just watch a movie like this. I don't know why, but he's what he did. So what I would do,
maximum viewing. You want to see the TV the best.
So what I would do is I would sit behind him, and I just sat behind him on the floor, so I didn't have to watch the movie. And then what got me to watch this damn movie was my spot behind him was in front of a chimney. And I knew that Chucky was a part that fell in from a chimney kind of thing. And that's where he got set on fire.
Oh, yeah.
So they told me that Chucky was going to come out of the chimney.
Your family seems fun.
Yeah, fun's like, wait, that's the thing. But anyways, so I got scared, ran out, and I saw the movie. And then I was like, it's not that bad after that. But it took me a year or two to actually watch the movie.
So Andy is he's kind of been a thing through the trilogy. They got rid of him, I guess, for Bride of Chucky, and so anyway, they bring him back, which I think is
which is cool because they kind of I liked how Nika in the movie was patronizing Chucky.
Sure,
saying you can never finish the job. It's all
I'll tell you, male. Her college paper was male finishing or something.
Some crap. But anyway, she was kind of just talking shit to him, and that was cool.
Yeah, that they brought that back. That is where the Curse of Chucky actually kind of goes off the rails, because the first hour is very
solid.
It's a solid horror movie, and it's a lot of fun. Quite frankly, it's a fun movie.
Yeah, like the electrocution scene, and then plus too like because they were pretty decent about throwing kind of curveballs.
Sure.
Even like how you think the dad saw over the babysitter.
Yeah, there's a babysitter character that comes with the family.
Who's like the stereotypical hot babysitter.
Yeah, it looks like Tara Reid from like Urban Legends. She's got like a very like early 2000s vibe.
Urban Legend was a good movie.
It's a great movie.
I love that movie.
I have it on DVD. It's a great movie. She's got like a very like early 2000s vibe, which is strange. But she comes with the family, and they tip it a little to where the dad of Nika's brother-in-law, I guess, is lecherously kind of like looking after her and following her around.
Well, let me help you.
Yeah, let me help you with that. Oh, yeah, and the wife is Nika's sister is very much built up to be this kind of a passive aggressive, mean, like big city businesswoman.
Yeah,
kind of.
She's kind of picking up on obviously that's what the husband's doing.
Yeah. But they throw a twist in there. The babysitter is having an affair, but it's with the mom, the sister, Nika's sister, and not the husband.
Yeah.
So it's a lesbian affair.
Yeah.
Which I didn't see coming. I found that to be a welcome twist. That was very interesting.
Very M. Night Shyamalan.
very, very much. It was, I believe, the original ending of The Village was that it was a lesbian babysitter.
That would have been a better ending for The Village
than the original ending of The Village.
They shouldn't have cut that.
That is, I've never seen a movie get tanked by the last 30 seconds.
Yeah, because it was good.
The Village was great.
I remember I was like sucked in. I was all.
The Village is a great movie
and
until
even
the
like,
last 30 seconds.
Yeah, and even like when you see the Beast stuff too.
Yeah,
it was a good he was a good monster. And then I remember being so mad. I remember being angry.
M. Night Shyamalan can direct the hell out of a movie. He is a great director if he can stay out of his own way as a writer.
Yeah. And
not trip himself up with his little crazy twist endings and stuff.
It worked for a movie. Get over it.
Yeah. So anyway, there's that little twist, which is fun, and it adds a nice curveball to the whole movie. Where Curse of Chucky goes off the rails is they try
to tie it into
the first one, and you find out that this is not a reboot. This is in fact a direct sequel to Seed of Chucky. Although they never really explain how he comes back from being dismembered like he was at the end of Seed of Chucky.
It's the whole Friday the 13th kind of syndrome. How Chucky came to be in the first place is that a serial killer named Charles Lee Ray, using voodoo power, puts his soul into the Chucky doll. Yeah, it's silly, but it works in the first movie. Yeah, it works in the first movie. That's how Chucky comes to be. And the whole driving nature of the movie is Chucky wanting to use voodoo again to put his soul into a human, so he's not in a doll. Yeah,
which makes sense.
Yeah, but what real weird little plot thing is that from the first movie, he's supposed to go into another human host, or his soul's going to get stuck into the doll, and the doll's going to become human.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah.
So this is 6 movies in.
Yeah,
you're fucked already.
I think they just kind of pushed that detail out the window. So that's all fine. That's all well and good. Where Curse of Chucky gets too silly and gets off the rails, they try to make it that Charles Lee Ray, before he became Chucky, before his soul went into Chucky, knew Nika's dad.
Yeah, those friends, and because they do this whole movie thing, right?
Yeah,
which was like, come on, man, you're not gonna have a family get together. They're like in sundresses and it's all nice and they're all playing, and you got this freaking long-haired,
creepy,
creeper, just kind of hanging out the background, kind of just staring at them like weird as fuck. Like, and it's like, oh, here's my friend.
No, it's just an old family friend. And
Sure.
what's particularly bad about this is that Brad Dourif, who is the voice of Chucky, also played Charles Lee Ray in the original, just in the very brief part where he's human.
So he's like hella old.
Oh,
and
man.
freaking wrinkly and all weird.
They try to make him look like he did in the 80s, and it does not
it was
work.
bad.
It's a bad thing. The wig that he wears looks terrible. I mean...
The Party City wig.
Yeah, it's Party City all over again. I mean, Brad Dourif is old as shit now, which is fine. Like, that's how time works, aging works. But believe it or not, time comes for us all, including Brad Dourif. But they try to make him look like he did in the 80s, and it looks
bad. It looks bad.
It's just was a poor choice on their part. And they make it where he literally right before Child's Play, the original one, starts, he had kidnapped Nika's mom while she was pregnant with Nika and stabbed her at one point.
Yeah, because he was all obsessed and kidnapped her.
Yeah, kidnapped her.
It insinuates he killed the father.
Yes.
And he kidnaps her. He's like, "Oh, we're gonna be a happy family." Which is me personally. I think I've always liked that whole deranged serial killer-y, weird kind of like the movie The Collector.
Oh yeah,
like the old one, like shit like that. I like because those dudes are crazy. Like I like that kind of theme. So that was kind of cool. Like
I'm fine with that.
I was cool with it, but like
it was just weird.
Yeah, it was really weird
to try and fit that into this movie.
Yeah, and
also that he's responsible for Nika being in a wheelchair because he stabbed the mom. In her pregnant belly while she was pregnant with Nika. It's just weird.
Yeah, it's definitely weird. And then the whole scene of him running away from the cops into which is I think that they kind of get. It's been a long time since I've seen the original one, but I thought they showed why he was running from the cops.
Well, I went back and rewatched it because I didn't watch the whole movie, but I watched that opening sequence because I was like, no, he was like robbing a bank or something.
Yeah.
But that's not what they actually. It's tied in better than that because Charles Lee Ray was a serial killer. He was the Lakeshore Strangler.
Yeah.
And what it is in the original Child's Play, in the opening, you hear a cop, it's one line of dialogue, but you hear a cop say, "I've got him, it's the Lakeshore Strangler. He's running down this street," or whatever.
Oh, okay. I thought he was like robbing something too.
Yeah, that's how I remember it. But it's not that. I'm glad I went back and watched it because it makes a little more sense, or it's not so crazy of a retcon where they fit it in. It still is kind of dumb, and it still doesn't really make sense. It's a bit of a forced tie-in to the first movie, but it does. On the barest of technicalities, it does work.
Yeah, okay, so that's a little better. I thought he was robbing. I could have sworn he was robbing something.
No, yeah, that's what I thought too, but no. I will say that the scene where Charles Lee Ray has Nika's mom in the basement is it's a very cool looking scene because it's all black and white.
And the flowers.
Yeah, Nika's mom at the beginning is seen painting sunflowers, and they find an attic full of these sunflower paintings.
Yeah.
It all ties into this scene at the end where, as she's been kidnapped, there's sunflowers all over the room. The scene is shot in black and white, but the sunflowers are all in color. And it's like black and white with this splash of like yellow. Yeah. It's a very cool scene.
Yeah, it was really good. I liked it.
To the point where it seems like that's the only reason why it was put in there, just because they had this idea for a visual, which I'm fine with. That's okay, because the visual is very striking and it's very cool. But it's pretty clear that that's the only reason why it's in there. So it goes off the rails a little bit there, where they try to tie the franchise back into the original. I guess. They want to keep it going, but it feels a little forced.
Yeah, it feels really forced. But real quick, like cool visuals. Another really, really cool visuals when they were peeling the skin off, the stitches of like the fucked up Chucky face.
So Chucky shows up and he looks like he did more or less in the original. The doll looks a little strange.
Yeah, real quick. The good guy doll in Curse of Chucky looks like crap. It looks terrible. It looks like he's balding, like his hair's thinner, and like it just looks bad. Even like the moving, like it looks.
Well, you can tell that this movie was shot on a pretty low budget.
Yeah.
I looked it up. There was some conflicting stuff I found online, but it looks like they shot the movie for about $5 million. If you told me it was half that, I wouldn't have been surprised.
Yeah,
because it's
pretty low. Budget,
yeah, it's pretty low budget,
which works overall. But but even that, like, the aesthetic of the good guy, it just doesn't. It
looks
good.
strange. They did a bit of a redesign on the doll.
It doesn't look good.
Yeah. But he's supposed to look like he did more or less in the original. He's looks like a new doll.
A good little buddy doll.
Yeah, a good little buddy doll. Towards the end, they peel off. I can't remember which character it is. Is it Nika or is it the sister?
I think it was Nika.
Nika peels off.
No, it was the sister.
It was the sister because it's up in the attic.
It was real quick too. They did they did a really good at making you hate the sister. They did a really good job of making you hate her. It's like I was just waiting for him to kill her.
Yeah,
kill her,
and he does.
Yeah, and it was like I was kind of hoping it'd be a little more brutal. But
she gets her eye popped out, and then the eye bounces down the stairs, which was fun.
It was cool. That was cool. But they didn't show you, and you end up hating the character so much that you wish that they would have showed you.
She's the real villain.
She is.
If you think of it.
Just watch it, you'll agree completely.
She's very mean to Nika. Anyway, you find out that Chucky has somehow put like prosthetics on his face to hide all of the scars and stitches from that he has accrued throughout the franchise, which is silly, but also kind of a cool. Yeah. It's a cool reveal when you start peeling off all parts of his face and it's all stitched together.
Yeah, that was cool. It was really good.
Yeah, so and what that leads to is so that means that all of this is canon. This is all. This is not a reboot. It's a sequel. The cop who we mentioned earlier, he does show back up at the house and finds Chucky, attacking, or what we think he's going to find Chucky attacking. But as it all turns out, Chucky has more or less engineered this to make it look like Nika is the one that's killed everyone in this house. Which
is another pretty good twist on the movie because I thought I was just waiting. I was like, hurry up! When are you gonna show up to the house? When are you gonna save her?
Yeah.
When are you gonna save her? When are you gonna see that this doll's alive?
Yeah.
So it protects her. But that doesn't happen.
That's not what happens. The cop, he bursts in and finds Nika holding a knife, covered in blood, dead people all over the house, and then just a doll.
Yeah. Well, also the scene where they did they did really good jobs on some of these parts. Yeah. Like the brother-in-law. He's like, "What did you do to her?" And he's all suspicious of her.
Yeah.
He freaking binds her.
Yeah. Right? Ties her to a chair.
Yeah, and which is like, I mean, it's logical for him because he thinks he's a killer.
Yeah.
But it's kind of grueling because Chucky's gonna get her.
Yeah.
And so he's going and watching the camera that he implanted to catch his wife cheating.
Yeah.
Into the thing, and he's just watching
he puts a nanny cam in Chucky. We found out. Yeah.
So he's watching from Chucky's perspective, looking at all the scenes and everything, the killings, him putting the daughter inside the cupboard and locking her in there, right? And then doing that, and then he switches to a live feed, which is on.
I don't know if it's a real thing.
Yeah, but he does, and you see the back shots of Nika in the wheelchair, and then him looking at the thing, and then realizing Chucky's there, but it's too late.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a found footage element that they added there. It's nice. Cool. Yeah, it's a nice. It's a good thing.
And I think what was it? Fiona, right? They played Nika. I think she did really good because even on those high tension and emotional side, I thought she did really, really good.
Yeah, she's great. She's a great lead. Yeah, I look forward to seeing her in other stuff.
I was really, really surprised.
So that's kind of how the movie ends. Is that it ends with Nika's trial, and Chucky is up in the courtroom as evidence, which I think is funny. And she gets committed to an insane asylum.
And the nail in the coffin for her is I'm gonna get you.
Yeah. She's screaming at Chucky as she's being dragged away. And I believe Cult of Chucky picks up with her in the mental institution. Yeah. So I'm very interested to see how this plays out.
The mental institution's a good setting, in Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah.
It's a good setting.
Yeah. There's a very underrated John Carpenter movie called The Ward.
I've seen
which is really good. It's all set in a mental institution. It's very cool. Anyway, Chucky is rescued out of police evidence by Jennifer Tilly, who shows up at the very end as
Chucky's savior.
Chucky's savior, still like kind of the bride. Because if you remember in Seed of Chucky, Tiffany the doll gets Jennifer Tilly the actress and puts her soul into Jennifer Tilly the act. So it's gone several degrees of Jennifer Tilly, from like fake character Jennifer Tilly to doll Jennifer Tilly to now real Jennifer Tilly, who is now the fake Jennifer Tilly's soul in the real Jennifer Tilly. It's all, the Chuckyverse is multi-leveled and very confusing. But Jennifer Tilly comes and slits a cop's throat and rescues Chucky, and that's how the movie ends, with Chucky going off. And then we talked about the cutscene, so
which is really cool.
Yeah, he's carrying out his.
Got like a couple more minutes.
Cut all that out, or should we leave it in?
I don't know. It's funny. I like living in little things. And like that was great. And things like that. But anyways,
and that's how the movie ends. Is her going away to prison, Nika going away to the insane asylum, to the prison, and then there's the cutscene, which we already talked about. And
yeah, I mean, I think overall this is a really good movie.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I think the only thing that for me would make it better was if, you know, they kept everything and they tried to make it canon, and it was an actual part of the storyline. That's all cool. I guess it's great. But if they just cut out where they try to tie it into the backstory of that being the cause of the beginning of the first movie, like if they just cut out that, I think the movie would have been way better.
They could have tied it in with the original in a much subtler, less forced way.
Yeah.
Having him literally run out of the room where she's being held captive and then get seen by the police and run into the toy store that starts the beginning is too much. It's forced. It feels forced.
Well, yeah.
It just doesn't. They could have. They could have just done it with some throwaway lines about, oh, Charles Lee Ray was a friend of mine, or something like that.
Yeah, definitely.
It's too much, and it doesn't tank the movie by any stretch.
Yeah,
because it's still a fun movie, but it does strain.
It's a blemish.
It strains it a little bit. But so I guess the question is, does this movie deserve to exist? As we try to find on every podcast, does this sequel deserve to exist?
I say yes.
Yeah, for sure. It's fun. It's a fun movie, and it rights the ship after Seed of Chucky, which I think we both agree is not a fun movie. I mean, it's just ridiculous, and it gets too far away from horror.
Yeah.
And it just gets silly. This movie kind of brings Child's Play back to its horror roots, and it makes it fun again.
Yeah, it's definitely. I mean, I think like if they omit the last two and continued on with this one, it would have been best.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Like Bride of Chucky was fine. It was cute. I haven't seen it in a while. I remember thinking it was cute. Seed of Chucky, I get why they did it, and I get why they wanted to further that, but it wasn't good. It wasn't a good movie, and it's just, you're watching a bunch of puppets run around for an hour and a half, which I will admit, when I say it out loud, does sound like fun, but in actual application, it wasn't that great of a movie.
I think we were all puppeted out from the freaking Puppet Master.
I will say, and this is, I feel like someone has to have thought of this already, but if not, I'm going to throw this out there as no new ideas, $1 million idea. $1 million idea. We've had Freddy versus Jason. We've had Sadako versus Kayako, the Ring versus the Grudge. How about Chucky versus Annabelle? Chucky versus Annabelle, big screen, Hollywood. I'll write this movie for you. Give me $500, give me $1,000, give me $5,000, and I'll write this movie for you. And it will be so nice, brilliant.
And lunch.
Yeah, you got to throw in lunch as well. And I like the LaCroix seltzers. Throw in some of those. But seriously though, I would two killer dolls going after each other, ghosts versus slashers. That's a movie.
That would be a fun movie.
I don't know how you would bring those two worlds together.
I mean, they brought Godzilla vs. King Kong.
That's true. I mean, they brought Freddy versus Jason. Those are two, fairly different franchises. I would, Chucky versus Annabelle needs to happen. Hollywood, get on that.
Yeah.
All right, I guess that's the end of the episode. Until the sequel, this has been No New Ideas, episode 5. We will see you again in episode 6. No New Ideas, the sequel.
But also follow us at facebook.com/NNI podcast. Instagram, same thing, NNI podcast. Pretty easy. Twitter is NNI podcast, I believe.
Yes.
And then you can listen to, if you're watching this on YouTube, which is probably you are, you can listen to the audio versions of all our episodes on Buzzsprout, same thing, same handle, NNI podcast, on iTunes, and on Stitcher.
Yeah.
And if you are cool enough to listen to that, you should probably leave a review to help us out.
Leaving a review would make us very, very happy. And, like I said, or like you said, Facebook, Instagram, we're trying to get social media going. We're doing some fun stuff on there, some supplemental augmentations of the podcast, and just some horror news and notes. It's a good time. Come join us. It's fun.
Join the discussion.
All right. Thanks again, guys.
Peace.